What is up, YouTube? It is your boy NMR Sports here, coming back at you with another MLB video, and today we're going to be talking about my new and improved MLB Power Rankings. We do this every single week, so if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and leave a like on the video. Help it reach as many baseball fans as possible. Let me know if you agree with my picks down in the comment section as well. We've got a lot of shakeup this week. The last few weeks, there hasn't been a whole lot of change, but this week, there is a bunch. Towards the top, we got a lot in the top 10, a lot of new teams in the top 10, and then a little bit towards the middle. The bottom, of course, kind of staying very similar. A lot of these teams that suck, we already know they suck. So without further ado, let's get into the video, start talking about numbers 25 through 30. Like I said, I don't think there's any change up here in the bottom 5, actually. The Oakland A's 1-9 in their last 10, the worst record in baseball in their last 10 games. Gotta have them at number 30, just above them, the Kansas City Royals. I think they're playing around 500 baseball the last week or so, but overall, they're still one of the worst teams in baseball. Bad pitching, bad hitting. Same thing with the Pirates. The Pirates have 3 wins in their last 10 games, and they're all against the Dodgers, so it's kind of funny. Everybody can beat the Pirates except the Dodgers, apparently. Just above them, the Cincinnati Reds, one of the worst starts in MLB history. They have improved a little bit, but they're still one of the worst teams in all of baseball. And just above them, the Detroit Tigers. I don't know, man. Casey Mize heading to the injured list. They have 2 of the lowest WAR players in all of baseball right now in Spencer Torkelson and Miguel Cabrera. Javi Baez hasn't been good. That whole team just can't hit the baseball right now, and their pitching isn't good enough to win them baseball games every single night out. Just above the Detroit Tigers, we got the Chicago Cubs at number 25. They just kind of feel like that 500 or just below 500 baseball club. Definitely not going to make a postseason push or anything. Definitely feel like this mid-level, mid-range, 3rd place in the NL Central kind of team. Just above them, the Washington Nationals. I think the Washington Nationals have a little bit of potential. I do like guys like Keibert Ruiz. I like Josiah Gray. I think it's going to be good eventually. Juan Soto is playing like Juan Soto as of late, but still the 24 spot feels about right. And then we got the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. They just seem to mirror each other. When they're hot, they're hot. When they're cold, they're cold. Right now, they're cold. I feel like they've had the same record for the last month. So they're very much similar, 22 and 23, 22A and 22B. Let's call it a tie right there. Just above them, the Orioles, the team with the hardest schedule in all of baseball, having to play all those AL East teams at the moment. The Baltimore Orioles, they're all right. As far as bad teams go, I think they're one of the better bad teams. Unfortunately, there's just a lot of teams that are much better than them at the moment. As far as the bad teams go, if we had like a loser's bracket of teams under 500, I think the Orioles could do pretty well in that. But of course, they play in the AL East where they got to play the Yankees, the Blue Jays, the Rays, and then the Red Sox, who are red hot right now too. Just a tough road ahead for the Baltimore Orioles. Okay, and at number 20, we've got the Chicago White Sox, one of the most disappointing teams in all of baseball this year. They just can't seem to get it together. Every time I think they're going to get on a hot streak, they just fall apart again. I don't know what's going on with this team. I really hope they get it together. I would love to see them win the the AL Central once again, because I do think they're the best team in that division by far, but they are certainly not playing like it right now. Just above them, we've got the Seattle Mariners, very close to the Angels right now. I believe they have a one game separating these two teams. The Mariners have played a lot less games than the Angels right now. I think they're 3 games less than the Angels, but we do have a 5-game series against them coming up right now, so we'll determine who is the 3rd best team in the AL West right now. Unfortunately, neither one of these guys is playing very good baseball at the moment. Obviously, the Angels lost 14 straight. I'm a big Angels fan, as you guys can tell. It's been a rough one. It's been a rough one. Losing 14 straight games is never fun. And, you know, we took 1 of 3 from the Mets. It could have been worse. We took 1 of 4 from the Boston Red Sox. So we're playing better baseball now that we're getting healthy. With Taylor Ward coming back, Anthony Rendon coming back, Mike Trout coming back, that lineup is getting a lot better. We just got to have our bullpen get a little bit better, and we can get back on track, hopefully get above 500 before the All-Star break. But for right now, number 18 at the moment, very close to the Seattle Mariners right now. Just above us, we got the Miami Marlins. The Marlins have been on a tear as of late. They swept the Nationals, which they should. They're a much better team than the Nationals are. And they are, I think they're better than they've been this season. I feel like they're a team that could finish the year above 500 for sure. I think they could actually pass the Phillies by the end of the season. They do have to get a little bit better offensively, and the bats have been heating up. Jazz Chisholm should be a starting all-star second baseman. Outside of that, Jorge Soler's been tearing the cover off the ball. Avisel Garcia's finally starting to hit a little bit. Jesus Sanchez, Jesus Aguilar, they've been doing pretty good so far. So hopefully they can heat up, get above 500 for the first time in a while. I think they've won 7 of their last 10 games. So good for the Marlins. Just above them, the Cleveland Guardians, another team that's won 7 of their last 10. They have been heating up a little bit. Their hitting has been surprisingly good this year. And Jose Ramirez is on an MVP caliber pace. Everyone's been tweeting about how he has more home runs than strikeouts this year. The dude is just making contact with everything, hitting the ball hard. He's fast. He's a good base runner. He plays good defense. Everything about it, man. Jose Ramirez can carry this team on his back. I do think he could use a little bit of help, though, especially in the starting rotation, surprisingly. The starting rotation has not been as good as advertised. However, the bullpen's been pretty dominant over there in Cleveland. Emmanuel Clase, possibly the most underrated closer in all of baseball. All right, next up, we've got the second place Texas Rangers. They've been tearing the cover off the ball lately. Finally, they're starting to come around a little bit. Marcus Semion's starting to tear the cover off the ball. Cole Calhoun has been very good. Outside of that, obviously, you still have Corey Seager. Adolis Garcia was an all-star last year. They've got a lot of good talent offensively in that team. It's really going to come down to if they can pitch, if they can allow less than 10 runs a game, because we know their offense can score 10 runs a game. Just above them, the Milwaukee Brewers. This is one of the largest falls I think we've seen in my power rankings this year. Maybe the Angels fell a little bit more last week, but I think I had them at number 6 last week. But the Milwaukee Brewers, man, I just don't know. They have like a +6 run differential, and they are how many games over 500? They're 6 games over 500, and they have a +5 run differential. I just, like, they can't score runs. They need bats. They need bats. They need bats. They have Corbin Burns. He's a stud. They've got Brandon Woodruff, who is a stud, but he had a little shaky start to the season. They just have a lot of good pitching on this team, a great bullpen, a great starting rotation, but they need bats. They've needed bats since the offseason started, and they just don't get them for some reason. I don't know what it is. They just hate offense in Milwaukee, but Milwaukee Brewers 14. Just above them, their NL Central counterpart, the first place St. Louis Cardinals. I really like this team, man. I think this team has a lot of potential, and Jack Flaherty is starting to come back. I believe he's having a rehab start and then joining the team in like a week or two. So that is going to be very exciting for the Cardinals. Obviously, their pitching is their main area of concern, but another area of concern is Tyler O'Neill, man. I need Tyler O'Neill to come back and start hitting the baseball. He's just not been good this season. Just above the Cardinals, we got the Minnesota Twins. They fell out of the top 10, not because they were bad, but because there were so many teams that were fringe top 10 that were better than them. I had to take them out of the top 10, unfortunately. I still think they're a good team. They're playing like they are the best team in the AL Central. I don't think they are on paper, but they've been playing like it. And honestly, they've got a stranglehold over that division at the moment. We'll see, though. The Guardians are creeping up on them. Just above them, the last team out of the top 10, the Philadelphia Phillies. I tried really hard to put them in the top 10, but I just couldn't find a spot for them. There's a lot of better teams in the league than them. They did go on a 10-game winning streak, which is really good for them. I think it was 10. Might have been 9 games. I'm not 100% sure. But they're 9-1 in their last 10. They've been tearing the cover off the ball. Their pitching's been pitching above what we expected it to. Obviously, Zach Wheeler's really good. Aaron Nola's really good. Zach Eflin's been pitching pretty well. Overall, they've just been pitching very well as hitting the ball like they're supposed to. Bryson Stott's starting to heat up and be that top prospect they expected him to be. Harper's playing like an MVP. They've just been a very good baseball club. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw them in the top 10 next week. Okay, and here we are in the top 10, starting it off with the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays, just a very good baseball club, man. I don't know what it is. They don't have any good players on paper, and they just find a way to win baseball games. Their offense has not been very good as of late, but they still are well above 500, and if they were playing in any other division besides the AL East that had the Yankees in it, they would probably be in first place, I think, honestly. They are 35-25 right now, so 10 games over 500, and they are still 9 games back of first place. That's how good the Yankees have been so far. Just above them, the San Francisco Giants, man, starting to heat up a little bit. You can't be outside of the top 10 when you're a good team on paper and sweep the Dodgers. I had to put them inside the top 10. You know I love my San Francisco Giants. They absolutely took it to the Los Angeles Dodgers this weekend, and I'm very happy about it. I love this San Francisco Giants team. I really hope they can make the postseason again, and I really hope they can make a deeper run this time. Hopefully get an easier matchup in the first series Last year, obviously, they played the Dodgers, and that didn't work out so well for them. They did take them to 5 games, though. Other than the Braves, they played them the hardest. So, yeah, definitely love me some San Francisco Giants. Just above them, the red hot Red Sox, man. The red hot Red Sox. The Red Sox have been on an absolute tear. They almost swept the Angels. Their pitching has been lights out, man. Michael Wacha threw a complete game shutout against my Halos. Every single one of their pitchers was pitching very, very well against us. Luckily, we took it to them in game 4, or else they would have swept us as the Angels. But overall, man, I think they almost swept the Mariners as well. So they've been beating some pretty good teams. They're definitely clawing and fighting their way back up to the top of that AL East division. There's a lot of room between them and the Yankees, though. They're 12.5 games back, even though they are 3 games over 500 at the moment. Now, just above the Boston Red Sox, we got the Atlanta Braves, the hottest team in all of baseball. They are currently on, I think it's an 11-game winning streak. They have just been on fire right now. They are starting to heat up. We know the Braves like to start slow. We saw it with them last year, but my God, they are on fire right now with Acuna back in the lineup. William Contreras. Can we talk about William Contreras? If you want to have some fun looking at stats, look up William Contreras on Baseball Savant and Fangraphs and whatnot. That dude is one of the most underrated hitters in the league right now. He has been tearing the cover off the ball for them. Adam Duvall is starting to heat up. Matt Olson's starting to heat up a little bit. That offense is pretty damn good. The bullpen is really good on paper, and then the rotation is definitely solid on paper as well. So hopefully they can keep this up. They are on a very, very hot pace right now, and definitely looking like they could make a run at the Mets, but the Mets have been doing very, very well as well. Although the Braves are the hottest team in baseball at the moment. Next up at number 6, we've got the Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays, man, they have been as advertised. The rotation's been a little bit better. They have been playing some weaker opponents. I gotta be honest there. They have been playing the Detroit Tigers, and who did they play before that? Oh yeah, they played the Twins, but they were kind of like the Twins lights because they had like 5 players who weren't vaccinated and couldn't travel with the team. That's another issue for another time. But yeah, the Toronto Blue Jays, man, 6 at the moment. They have been hitting the cover off the baseball like they should. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. starting to heat up again, which is very good, very nice to see. I love me some Vladimir Guerrero Jr. People think I hate him because I didn't want him to be MVP last year. That could not be further from the truth. I love seeing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. have success. Obviously, as an Angels fan, I watched his dad play for many, many years, so love to see Vlad Jr. doing well. And the Blue Jays as a whole. The Blue Jays as a whole have been doing very well. Obviously, Alek Manoah kind of carrying the team on his back as starting pitchers go. And Kevin Gausman having a borderline Cy Young caliber year. Definitely could see some big things out of this Blue Jays team. They just got to stay hot and beat these teams that are over 500. They are playing the Yankees coming up, so we'll have to see with that series. That'll be a fun one to watch. Just above them, I have the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros, man, I don't know how they do it. They shouldn't be as good as they were last year, but they haven't missed a beat. All of their guys are just producing at an insane rate. Yordan Alvarez, I think, is the scariest hitter in all of baseball for my money. I'd rather pitch to Juan Soto. I'd rather pitch to Mike Trout. I'd rather pitch to Aaron Judge. Yordan is scary. Maybe not Aaron Judge right now. He's on fire. But Yordan Alvarez, dude, that is a scary man at the plate. And Altuve's been on a tear. He's probably going to start at second base in the All-Star game. And they're starting pitching, man. Justin Verlander looks like a Cy Young candidate coming back from Tommy John surgery. So good for them. Looking very good right now. And just above them, the Los Angeles Dodgers, man. They are under 500 in their last 10 games, and they are about to lose out on their number 1 spot in the National League West to a team that we haven't even talked about yet. So we'll get into the top 3 here. But obviously, they got swept by the San Francisco Giants. They got swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. And that's definitely going to knock you out of the top 3 when you get swept twice in a span of 2 weeks. So let's go into the top 3, see who made it. And here we go, the San Diego Padres, man. Talk about a team that is on fire, and they don't even have their best player in the lineup yet. Tatis is still on the injured list, and they are, in my opinion, for my money, the 3rd best team in baseball right this second. Are they going to finish the year as the 3rd best team in baseball? Probably not. Were they coming in? Absolutely not. But right now, man, San Diego Padres, for my money, there's not a team I would rather play I would rather play the Dodgers right now than the San Diego Padres. The Padres are on an absolute tear right now. Manny Machado playing like an MVP candidate, and that whole team just doing a lot better than we expected them to. Just above them, we got two New York teams. The New York Mets, the best team in the National League. I don't think there's any doubt about that at the moment. They got the best record. They got one of the best pitching staffs, one of the best offenses, and very solid defense as well. And then just above them, what can we say about the Yankees, man? They're like 25 games over 500, something like that. They're just ridiculous. They just can't lose a game. I understand they've had they've played some easy teams like the Cubs and whatnot, but they're sticking it to every team they play. It doesn't matter how good they are absolutely clobbering every single opponent. It's not even close. So New York Yankees, best team in baseball. If you disagree, debate a wall. It is not up for debate. They are the best team in baseball right now. There's no argument to be made. No other team even holds a candle to them at the moment. I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry. They're just the best team in baseball. It is not close. All right, let's take one last look at numbers 1 through 30 real quick. Okay, here's 11 through 30 one more time. If you'd like to take a screenshot, post it on social media, whatever you want to say. We got the A's at 30 all the way up to the Phillies at number 11 with my Halos at number 18, unfortunately. And then 1 through 10. Yankees at 1, Rays at 10. And that is going to do it for us today. Thanks again so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more daily Major League Baseball content. I will have a trade deadline update video coming out to you guys pretty soon. Don't forget to leave a comment on what you think of my power rankings. Do you think I had it spot on? Do you think I missed a couple of spots? Did I have your team in the right spot? I think there will be a few pissed off fans, specifically Brewers fans, but anyways, I like my power rankings. This is how I feel. So thanks again so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.